Okay, I'm going to make 2 apple pie treats, starting with 2 apples, and I'll give you a little picks here and there to get you where you need to be. We just love these apple cores, and they work great. We get you all nice sized pieces, and we'll show you what we do after that. Again, it makes all the slices symmetrical, and it makes it really easy to do this job. So I highly recommend using one of those kind of cores. Use a little tiny bit of lemon juice. Okay, just regular lemon juice. And that just keeps it from browning up too much. Once you cut apples, the second law of thermodynamics kicks in quickly with apples, and it starts deteriorating quick. So to stop that browning, you pretty much want to put a little bit of lemon juice in there and swish it around. Then you want to take a little bit of brown sugar and put it in there in the mix too. And by swirling a little brown sugar into the mix, now you really can't tell if it's the apple just browning or if it's brown from the brown sugar. Anyway, it looks great just about like that. Okay, so we got the brown sugar in it, and I mixed it all around. And then we're going to prepare our pastries to make our small, super small, bite size if you will, apple pies. Okay, now we're all prepared and get ready to finalize this product. So we have the Grands crescent rolls, and there's 8 crescent rolls for each package here. And of these cutters that we use for our core, that has 8 slices. So using 2 of these cans will be perfect. Okay, so we have 16 slices of apples there. We have some melted butter, and we have some brown sugar. I'll get out some little bit of cinnamon. We're ready to go for the next stage. Okay, we got the cinnamon sugar there. Now we're all set. May we now progress. Woohoo! Okay, some of you have never done this before. We have the Pillsbury crescent rolls, and that's what they look like coming out of the package. They're a bunch of triangles, so we're going to separate them. And normally you just separate them and roll them back into a crescent shape, and then you're going. But we're going to go ahead and place our apples in the middle and go from there. But this is the way they look coming out of the can. It goes from that right there to this right here. When you unroll it, they look like a bunch of triangles. You just separate them normally and roll them into a crescent shape, and then bake them at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes or so. But here we're going to do things a little bit differently, as we're going to put apples in there and then roll them up. And that's the way it's going to look until we get to the next step. So you take every one of these strips here, you pull it off, and all you're really doing is using it. It's a pre-made cool pastry strip. You're just going to try to get an apple in there in any position you want, and just completely cover it. You can rip off a little chunk, you know, and put it somewhere else. You know, if you decide you didn't want it there, you can put it down here, whatever. And you just want to cover the apple completely, so it looks like that. And then I'll go to the next step. In case I forget to mention it before, I think I mentioned partially, you rip off about a chunk of this triangle. It comes in a big long triangle. Rip off this top part and save it. Roll your other part up, and then you have this part here to put in some spot that didn't cover so well. Well, with the small apples, like the red, we saw the apples were different between the red and the green size. The red fit really nicely in here, and then the green is just a little bit too big. So you use this extra piece that you had left over to fill in those spots. But with the red apples, you don't even need the extra spot. You don't need the extra piece, so save it in case you have 2 different size apples, and you can put it with the green apple. So you'll add just this much extra dough to your other triangle, your full triangle, to make enough coverage for the green apples. Okay? I don't know if I made myself more clear or muddied up the waters, but while you're getting your prep work done, you want to make sure your oven's on and going at 350 degrees, so it'll be ready to go once you get it all done. Okay, so I started getting it prepared, so it'll be preheated for you. Okay, we got our 16 all set up here. Now we're going to go ahead and baste them with a little bit of butter, some brown sugar, and some cinnamon, and start the process. You just want to take a little bit of your melted butter and just apply it. Okay, as you can see, you want to get plenty of butter on there. That helps, not only makes it taste good, which is preeminent, but also it helps hold the brown sugar and cinnamon too, which we're going to put. Okay, to put on the brown sugar, just take some and just sprinkle it on there. No big deal. you're going to get a lot of it everywhere, but I just want to be sprinkled on there, okay? Okay, so once you got your brown sugar sprinkled on there, you want to take a little cinnamon and just sprinkle it on there too. Okay, voila, it's all set up now. Okay, again at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes or so, maybe 20 minutes at the very most, but around there, and we'll see how it goes. It's already been preheated, and so we'll just pop it in. You want to take the remainder of what you had with your butter was left over from applying the butter, and then also you had some brown sugar left over from the apples when you smeared it in there. And you want to add a little bit of nutmeg and just add a little bit to the mix. Then you'll baste again this one more time as you're getting ready to pull it out. So this is butter and nutmeg and brown sugar, and you'll baste with that one more time, okay? Yummy, looking good so far. Okay, so this is what they look like coming out of the oven. That's at 25 minutes later, and just got to watch it after 15 minutes, just keep checking on it, but that's what they look, small little apple pies. We're going to go ahead and put our, remember our nutmeg, butter, and brown sugar glaze. I'm going to baste it one more time, and should be fantastic. Okay, there she is. Looking beautiful, but also looking a lot like chicken thighs. Baked chicken thighs. Anyway, they're wonderful, and I'm going to go ahead and taste a couple now. Love you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Man alive, those were fantastic. I mean, I just ate two of them. I ate a red one and a green one. A red apple and a green apple. Both tasted just fantastic. The only thing I would do differently is add a little bit more sugar. I mean, not sugar. Add a little bit more cinnamon. It just was just like a cinnamon roll. I mean, just absolutely soft and delicious, and they're like apple cinnamon roll, you know, just fantastic. Like I said, but just a smidgen more cinnamon, but that was there though, man. It was totally awesome.